Hi, my name is Tung An, and here is my application, the appointment system for Orange Clinic. So what we are seeing right now is the homepage of the entire system. It's gonna be just a standard homepage with some information about the clinic and a sign up section right here on the right hand side. Or we can sign in using the tab upper right corner, and we can go to the appointment page. Over here we can see all the available appointments. So on the calendar tabs, we can see any days which have dot underneath it. It indicates that there are some available slots on that day. But like in order to see the appointments, we must log in, or in order to book it, we have to log in. And so I'm gonna go ahead and log in as a patient. So the login we have two sessions, one for patient and one for staff for security concern and the nature of their roles. Okay, and another thing is every patient should be able to see their own uh, appointments. They should not be able to see other people's appointment. And when I click on here, there are two slots for me to book the appointment. But unfortunately, the appointment must be in the future day. So this one is on the 30th of April, which is in the past. So it should not be valid. Yep. And there's an error message. So yep. Again, so the patient can only book a future appointment. And here the workflow for an appointment gonna be. I'm gonna restart from beginning. So the appointment first must be created by a provider who's gonna offer an available slot. So I'm gonna go ahead and log in as a provider. And as a provider, I can see everyone appointments, including everyone's slot here. And there one other feature I haven't told you about. This is the filter thing. So we can filter the appointment by the clinics or even by the doctor. It depends, like, yeah, how we, well, in case we have so many information we want to filter it out. And I'm gonna go ahead and create a couple appointments on the May 11th. Click here, we fill in the information, and I'm intentionally not select any provider. Let's see what the system gonna tell me. It's tell me an error, so I have to like indicate the provider for this appointment. So let's try with Leon Redfield, and I'm gonna create another one for Leon Redfield at 10 o'clock. So because the past appointment was 2 hours, so the end time should be around like 10, 11 a.m. So this appointment gonna be a conflict with the other appointment, so it won't let me through. I have to pick another day, and oh, I have to change on. Yep, we can see Leon, right? And let me go ahead and create another one for Tung An, and let's say at the same time 9 a.m. for 1 hour, and Tung An appointment should show here. So we have two Leons and one Tung An, and the clinic name, and we can delete and modify it. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete one appointment for Leon. I'm gonna delete it here. Probably the, yeah, and it's cancel the slot, right? Okay, now I'm gonna go back to the patient section to try to book an appointment for Jen, since she has a last appointment. So she has only one appointment in the past, and we're gonna cancel later. Now we're gonna go to this one, and we look for the appointment with Leon. I'm gonna go ahead and book it, and I'm gonna book it and say nope, I have to pick a service. So let's say preventive care for 2 hours with Leon, and it confirm this one gonna be the future update. And if I'm happy with the appointment, I can book another one, or I can check the condition of the appointment by click on here. It's gonna go to the detail of the appointment, and I can either cancel the appointment right here, or add to the calendar. All the information should be on the right hand side, or I can cancel the appointment right here. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this one, and it should it should still be here, but it just changed the starter to cancel. But another interesting thing is the slot gonna be available. Let's go back to this one. So we see it released a slot, but unfortunately no one can book it because it's already in the past. Let's go ahead and try to cancel this one. This is the future appointment. I'm gonna cancel it. Alright, it said cancel successfully, change the status, change everything. Go back to the appointment and test it. Now it's available for the next patient to book it. Right. So here's the front end, and let me show you the back end. So once we book the appointment, the system should send the external service to notification, and the notification we can see in the log here. It tell me this is the entire log for the entire process we've been done, like the booking request received, appointment successful, so on and so forth. And when it's success, it should trigger the up here. It's gonna trigger the notification service. Let me in this mock notification service pretend to be functional, and when it receive a request, it's gonna tell Spring Boot receive a request and show the request information, and then it pretend to send the customer information and send it back to Spring Boot. Like here is the notification has been sent out with the date, timestamp, and Spring Boot gonna bring the outcome on the terminal right here. The system gonna respond with like the code 200. So that is how the process go. And here let me show you the structure of our application. So again, here's a log file to log whatever happened, the entire event, and whether the success or the failure message is in here. And our architecture is pretty much standard. We are using Spring Boot frameworks. So its front end is under resources, and it renders on the HTML pages. In this one, we do page control and template rendering. So here are some templates for the page I just showed you earlier. And for the backend and at the server side, from the top layer we have the controller. So the controller gonna send all a response and request between the front end to the server. The next layer the controller gonna interact with is the service layer. So this layer is handling all business logic. For example, the appointment service. Let's look at this. So this one is our core function. It's gonna take care of all transactions relating to booking an appointment or cancel it. So on a transaction will have multiple steps, and all of them will be wrapped inside a transactional decorator. This one to ensure the atomicity of a transaction, like whether any of these steps failed, the entire transaction failed. So for example, this booking appointment, we have some conditional checks, like a slot. We have to look for a slot and check whether the slot is available. Um, like if the slot not found, we return an error and we withdraw back the transaction, or either even we found the slot but the slot is taken, we cannot book the appointment, we have to cancel it. So that's how the transaction gonna handle it. And once all the condition is met, we ready to send the request to the database to store the transaction into the database, which is we call the repository. So the repository is in charge of like communicate with our database, which is MySQL right now, to handle all the backend update, delete, and fetching over here. And another thing is about the concurrency control, as I mentioned before, because like we wrap everything in the transaction and we have to detect certain condition. So one of them is the concurrency or race condition. So in order to do so, we have the version control, and I'm going to show you the version. Like every model class here, we have a version right here. See, and for that reason, I'm going to go back here. Let's check what of our query. Let's say we update, right? So we're going to update insert is create a new one, so we don't have to worry about the last update. But like when we update an existing appointment, like especially on a slot, there is another chance that the other user is also accessing the same slot. So we have to have a version right here to make sure the slot we are using has not been modified by anyone else. And there's one last thing I want to show you next is the endpoint to check our server health. In order to check our server, we just simply go to this endpoint, the dash health, and it should produce a JSON format to tell us the status of the server, whether up or down, database connected, and any like other external service is connected successfully or no. And yep, that pretty much is about our application and the entire structure of our application. Hope you enjoy, and thank you for watching.